G'day everyone. Tonight's video is a thank you video to all the Fatwood community and the knife guys. Thanks very much for subscribing, all your kind words. I've been looking at a few of your videos and reading it through the comments. You seem like a unbelievably nice bunch of guys. I can't believe the love that gets thrown around there. Awesome, absolutely awesome. Tonight I'm going to pick on Nikki St Laurent. I've watched a few of her videos, left a couple of messages, and specifically about, I left a message or two about EDC and the EDC bags. My comment was 4 or 5 years ago when I first got into all the EDC stuff, like pretty much most of us, I'm sure would have found an interest, seen the EDC, got into it, started buying a couple of little bits and pieces, adding your own ideas to it, and before you know it, you've got a whole heap of gear. Okay, I probably had 3 different EDC packs that I used to swap around. One was to take to work, which was my work bag. This one is my general purpose take everywhere. And I've got another camelback as well, which was my sort of more hiking, sort of bushwalking, going on treks sort of bag. So I thought that I was being really smart and having a bag to take to work, a bag to just generally take everywhere, and another one specifically for walking. What ended up happening over the years was, as I did different things, I'd go on hunting trips and camping trips and things like that, I'd start taking little bits and pieces out of everywhere, and they get lost, misplaced, and now I've kind of come down to, I never planned on this as what was going to be in my bag for this video. This is just how it is, and I just want to say this is what's left of a full bag which I knew was too much stuff. Hardly ever used it. So I'm going to show what's in here now, and this is pretty much all I really need. I don't need half of the stuff I used to have. But anyway, each to their own, and good on you for having heaps of kit. I'm just saying, mine's dwindled down to this. So, first of all, I don't really like stuff in my pockets. So, obviously, I've got my phone and my wallet. I don't have my sunnies in here for having glasses. This is where my I was an accidental EDCer because I had wallet, phone, sunglasses, then keys, etc., etc. And so I always had one of those little canvas, little side haversacks that you see like bikers and stuff like that sometimes have. That's what I had for a long time. And then once I seen the EDC stuff, I went, oh wow, I'm going to get into this. And this is what it progressed to. So these are basically just like a camelback or a water bladder bag. This particular one is a Ridgeline. That's sort of like a Kiwi brand. Fairly popular here in Australia. They make a lot of hunting and cold weather clothes, so good little bag. I also got it to double up as when we go hunting and things like that, and we can see each other through the scrub. Now, after the wallet and the phone, something else I carry around is sports tape. I've got some issues with my ankle and now my wrist, so it's always handy to have that. But then after, I usually keep one of these in my hiking bag. So if you ever sprain an ankle or injure yourself, you need to make a splint if you've got a break or something like that, you've got this ready to go, and it's that non-stretch sports tape. So you can really like strap up an ankle or a knee or any of your joints, and you're pretty much good. It'll get you home pretty much. It's amazing actually how well this stuff works. I'm sure a lot of you have used it before. We've got some gloves. I use them for work. They just come in handy. You never know when you might need them. A lot of guys that may see this that I used to work with would know I was that funny dude that would use Vaseline, a mixture of Vaseline and hand sanitizer, because I like to be different. I don't like to, I like to stand out and do my own thing. I've never really worn deodorant. My theory was bacteria is what stinks, so I'd put hand sanitizer under my arms and I wouldn't stink, and then I'd just use Vaseline, thin it down with a bit of hand sanitizer. I'd use that to stop chafing and stuff like that, and it worked really well, and it also doubles up as a fire lighter, hand sanitizers to clean germs off your hands, off your cutlery, your knives, etc, etc. So I thought it was a no-brainer. I don't use the Vaseline anymore. I don't know why. I've just been using moisturiser now, so, and it seems to last all day, where the Vaso sanitizer mix would sort of wear off about lunchtime. And it's doing heavy construction labour and in like subtropical Brisbane, so a lot of sweating and stuff going on. Okay. I usually have two little notepads. These are just ones that you usually get from job site. These are both union ones. They come around and give you a sausage sizzle and that, and hand out some pens and notepads. They come in handy. They got a pretty tough sort of plastic cover on them. Yeah, they're heaps of things. Pens. I have a decent amount of pens. I always like to have like some type of a Nico permanent sort of marker. You guys probably call them Sharpies. I always carry one of those. And I got 3 normal pens. Okay. This little bag here, this is kind of me sort of medical-y kit, but it has a couple little added bonuses in there. I keep a lot. I've got 2 lighters. I keep one inside a plastic bag just in case everything gets wet. I've got a small amount of bandage here. A car accident, you need to wrap a limb, snake bite or whatever. It's basically a tourniquet. I usually carry Panadol or paracetamol and ibuprofen. I don't know whether how true it is or not, but I heard an old wives' tale that if you feel a little bit of a touch in the throat, like getting a bit of a sore throat, if you have a Panadol straight away, or paracetamol, it'll knock it on the head. Since I've been doing that in the last 4 years or so, I think it sort of works. I don't know. I don't get sick very often, but there could be something to it. The other thing is, I just like to have Panadol and ibuprofen, whether I need it or whether it's a work colleague or somebody else has got a headache or something like that, or an ache and a pain. I've already got, I like to be Johnny on the spot, you know, can help people out wherever I can. Got some water purifying tablets. I used to carry a Sawyer Mini with me back when I had way too much stuff. Pretty much, unless there's a nuclear strike or something like that, we're going to be able to find water around the city, you know. So it's not too much of an issue. I just got these because they take up no room and I already had them. This little treasure, instead of carrying around fat wood or anything like that, this is just a little container that I bought off eBay. I don't know, I probably bought 10 of them for a few bucks, maybe $1 each. These are cotton wool buds, or cotton wool, soaked in Vaseline, and I keep Vaseline inside the cap itself. So if I need a little bit extra, if I do need to chappy lips or whatever, you know, you need to grease a bearing or anything like that, you know, anytime you need some lubrication for whatever purpose, there's something there. Righto. And then on top of that, you just got the plastic bag that can be handy for whatever, gathering water or who knows, whatever. This is more of the little medical kit. So I've just got one of these little butterfly clips for a bandage. More paracetamol, a couple of the Band-Aids that have got like the material. I like the material ones. I pay the extra money to get good ones. They seem to do the job quite well. So more ibuprofen and paracetamol. We got a couple of antihistamines there, a couple of throat lozenges just in case, more water purifying tablets, and these ones here are like a codeine one. The last time I had some real bad issues with my teeth, these were some of the leftover ones, so I just kept them because they're really strong. May never, hopefully never need them, but if someone breaks a something and we're a long way away, there's just something a bit stronger than usual. And a couple of cotton wool buds, earbuds sort of thing. That's kind of pretty much it for the medical side of stuff. Carry a little ferro rod and striker. This is the one that, this is just one of these cheap ones, $3 off eBay sort of thing. This is the one that I've pretty much only ever used. It's nearly worn out. It's got a little bit of life left in it, but I've got a few of spare ones. So that's that. Then I've got keys here. This is my car key. I'll just keep it separate so there's not a lot of weight hanging off the ignition barrel. And I've just got a tiny little Olight i3 EEOS. Takes one AAA battery. It actually works really well. I've had this going now for ages. I should actually replace the battery just because it's been probably 12 months since I've replaced it. Okay. Second lighter, that one's also in a plastic bag. A second Sharpie. Another little thing here, sanitizer. Swiss Army knife. This one here, it's got the magnifying glass. Yeah, this one's got the magnifying glass. Thinking that living in Brisbane, we've got a lot of sun, can use this to start a fire. I found that this is actually very hard to start a fire with. Maybe carrying, I actually haven't tried it on the cotton wool bud with the Vaseline. Maybe I should give that a go, but maybe a little bit of char, punk wood, or a bit of char cloth could help with that. But really what I have this for is, and use it quite often, is the toothpick and the tweezers. The tweezers are genuine tweezers. They pull out splinters. I've used it a whole heap of times. It's amazing how many times I've actually used this and a friend has had a splinter or something and we've needed it. So, and I've also used it to clean stuff. Like, I can't remember what I was getting, but I know that I've had things before and I had to try and get stuff out of tiny little gaps. The tweezers came in handy for that. Plus it's got all the little blades on it. This has got the, I can't remember what model this is. It's got the little hook on it. So Swiss Army knives are pretty good. Okay. I don't keep a bladder in the bladder compartment. I just use that as more storage. So there's 2 more bandages there. Being a first responder to a few car accidents, motorbike accidents, seeing a young fella on a BMX track that hurt himself quite well, I've actually used these as toilet paper as well. So bandages, especially with the constant threat of a snake bite or something like that, they're probably sort of reasonable to have here. It's got one of these really lightweight, cheap little disposable ponchos. They weigh nothing, don't take up a lot of room, it's just there. You may never need it, hopefully. You could use that in a pinch if you were caught somewhere and it was really cold. We don't really get cold in Brisbane here, but just in case, that will sort of trap in some heat. Maybe a chest wound. Unfortunately, I keep 2 of those in there. You never know when me and the missus or a friend want to go somewhere and I've got to sign in, you're not allowed anywhere. So I've got one of those just to keep people quiet. And last of all of my tools is the Leatherman. I'm not sure what this is. It's like their rescue thing. Skeletal RX. It's the one that's got the window breaker on it. I've got a couple of multi-tools. Generally, I find the Leathermans, as good as they are, they're usually over heavy for what I need. I've noticed the screwdrivers don't really work as good as they get in the road. You can't, the handles on them and things, you can't get into tight little spots. So I found they're sort of, I hardly ever need them really, to be honest. I usually, in my car, I've got, basically my car is a mobile EDC factory, so I've got heaps of stuff, over redundancies in my car. So if I'm close by, job site or something like that, you know, it's 4-wheel drive, so quite often if we're away camping or something, my 4-wheel drive's there, so I've got a lot of tools in that. It's got the serrated blade, so you know that's obviously good for cutting seat belts, clothing, leather, motorcycle gear, leather boots, etc, etc, if someone's had a bad stack. So that's why I got that. This gives you the pliers, and it carries, there's room in here for one little, one of their little combination tools. This one's the Phillips head screwdriver and flat blade, and that just replaces the window breaker, the tungsten window breaker, and there's another straight slot screwdriver on that as well. But I always keep the window breaker there just in case you need to smash a window for whatever reason. And then I swap them around, but I've got a cold steel, what's this one? The Crawford. I really like this one. It's really nice, lightweight. It's nice. It's got a nice slim profile. Flips really nice. It's got that secondary lock on it. I actually like it. I think it's quite comfortable. I've had it for a long time. It's my sort of, it's one of my go-tos. I used to carry the Luzon large on here as well. But yeah, this one sort of conceals it a little bit better. So I usually black out all this with like a Sharpie as well. It's all worn off now, but sort of the blade I carry. Then obviously this is the bag, so this houses everything, but also in a pinch this can be a shield. I can swing it like a club if I need to. I like to think of myself as a bit of a good Samaritan. If I get on the bus, I sort of always sit near the driver. If I get onto a train or something, I like to sit either near what I think is a vulnerable person, an older lady, or I'll sit near the what I consider the troublemakers, so so they don't get away with making trouble. Okay guys, thank you, and hopefully I didn't drag on too long, Nikki, and there was no way I was trying to say that you're wrong or anything like that. I was just saying that I had a very full bag like you used to. It's dwindled down a little bit, or a fair bit, and to be honest, I've been lucky and never really needed a lot. You know, I've only really needed a knife, and that was to cut a rope that was tied around a dog that got slammed in a car accident. It got slammed off the side of the ute, and the knot pulled tight. It was just a slip knot, and we couldn't undo the knot. So luckily I had a knife there, and I was able to cut the dog's rope. If I didn't have that, the dog probably was going to die. So strange things. Okay guys, thank you.